Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry! Rebound bounce. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Tie game with 5 seconds remaining. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with the rejection. Lillard, long-range three. And it's
Well, anyway, I reckon we move on to the winners and the losers of the NBA offseason. First off, I want to hear your winner, in your opinion, of the offseason.
Jeez.
Give it to me, mate.
I haven't really put too much thought into this one. You know, I've heard some people critiquing Chicago's offseason. I've heard others say it was a really good one. I don't really see what was wrong with Chicago's offseason. I think they're probably the winners, right? Lonzo Ball at point guard. You brought in that really great defense, which means Kobe White can come off the bench. You bring in DeMar DeRozan, which means Patrick Williams is still a good defender. You know, can play the power forward position. I think they don't have any picks. That's the issue. Like, they traded up a lot of picks, and they brought in Caruso, but they didn't sign they've got a very good 8-man rotation, like 8 and 9-man rotation. But then after that, they've got legitimately nothing. That's the area of concern.
I know that Caruso contract got a lot of slander when it got signed. And personally, I really, really rate Caruso. But that contract,
I think it was good.
I still think it was slightly overpaid. But he's a very good player. He can slash, he can shoot. I think he's really good, and I'll be curious to see how he goes in Chicago. But personally, I don't think that's the winner. Who I've got, I reckon, by far, no competition. You got to give the winners Lakers.
Yeah,
they've done so much, man. They traded for Westbrook, which you can say that some people aren't the biggest fan of that. There people are feeling that that whole starting lineup can't shoot, clashed egos. But that team is going to be good no matter what. LeBron, Anthony Davis, Westbrook, and then they also signed Dwight Howard. They signed Wayne Ellington, which he shot 42% from 3-point last season. Yep. They signed Malik Monk, a 23-year-old, 40% from 3-point as well. They signed Kendrick Nunn, he's 26 years old. Again, another amazing shooter last year. They signed Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, Kent Bazemore, and then they also re-signed Taylor Horton-Tucker. They're their young player, which is being 20 years old. I just think you can't say this team did not do better.
They won the offseason. But what about a low-key team? What about the Charlotte Hornets? Did you see the players they brought in through the draft? James Bouknight, Kai Jones, JT Thor, and Scotty Lewis, who I believe at one stage in all of their career were probably all projected first-round picks.
I really like Bouknight. They got Kai Jones as well, didn't they? Yeah, Kai Jones is really good.
Scotty Lewis, I don't really know too much about him. I've drafted him on 2K a couple of times, but I'm pretty sure he used to be alright. And JT Thor's a power forward dude that I think can play small ball center eventually. But they did pretty good. They lost Devontae Graham, which they didn't really need to bring back.
Yeah.
Malik Monk, same thing, didn't really need to bring back. And they added some defense in Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, no, they've done well. Kelly Oubre, I forgot about that.
LiAngelo Ball's playing for him in summer league right now.
I just think, they're just a young team though. They're a team they've still got plenty of years. I just think that the fact that what Lakers did this year and they've rebuilt a finals team just like that. It's just I think that needs to be acknowledged.
Yeah, it does. But hold on a second before we move on. The losers. This is the controversial topic. Who lost the NBA offseason? Because I've got a team in mind. I don't know about you.
Yeah, so I've got a team in mind. Well, no, I've got a team and a player, but I'll say the team first.
Okay.
The team that, in my opinion, has lost the offseason, and that's Portland. That's Blazers. I reckon that they signed Powell, which, good, but on a 5-year, $90 million contract, which is, listen, the money, you could say maybe he deserves that, but he's mainly just a shooter. His defense is average. He just shoots. And for 5 years is ridiculous, in my opinion, but I get it.
Yeah.
No one wants to go to Portland. But then hold
on. they played him at shooting guard, though, I think that'd be all right. But they want to play him at small forward.
Weird. Yeah,
And he's 6'4".
he's very small. It makes no sense. But then, yeah, also Portland, they signed Cody Zeller, Tony Snell, Ben McLemore, and they lost Carmelo and Enes Kanter. Is this what Portland's plan is to really convince Lillard to stay in Portland? This is a terrible
Stuck in
plan.
mediocre. Yeah, they're stuck in being mediocre forever. That's their thing.
This plan sucks. If this is so, I can picture it now. They were in a meeting with Dame, and they said, "You know what? Because we want you to stay here. This is what we're going to bring to you. We're going to bring to you Cody Zeller, mate, Tony Snell. Like what? That's a joke."
Do you know who's a ginormous loser that I feel like no one's really talking about right now?
Who's that?
What about the Boston Celtics? Think about their offseason. They went into this offseason, right, to get rid of Kemba Walker's contract. You know, they did that. That was their big thing. And to get rid of his contract, they were supposed to maybe bring in another dude to be the point guard and be the playmaker and take the ball off goddamn Jason Tatum's hands for 2 seconds in the game.
And they couldn't do it.
No, and then they brought in another shot creator in Dennis Schroeder. Oh my lord. Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, they didn't do well at all, did they? It's just, I think Boston clearly have a plan. Do I like the plan? No, because the plan is clearly to next year just load up on Bradley Beal and the hope that he comes to Boston. But I'm not a fan of that plan, and the reason why is because I go for New York, man. I've seen what happens when you load up, when you want KD, when you want Kyrie, and none of them come. You've just wasted a whole season, or 2 seasons.
Don't forget about they also lost Evan Fournier
to New York.
Yeah, they lost Fournier to New York. They brought in Horford, which is fine and all, but did you have to give up pick 17 to do this? You know?
It's that's I don't know. They were not they did not do well whatsoever. They was a pretty crappy offseason, you could say.
Yeah. And before we get into your player, another team that's like stuck being mediocre right now is the Washington Wizards, the team that Boston want to get their star from. Why? So Washington, they went into this free agency and draft, right, desperately needing a guard, and they drafted Corey Kispert. What? Like, where's the logic in that?
See, I think if we're ignoring draft stuff for Washington, I think they've done all right. The Westbrook trade, I think they did pretty well for Westbrook. Like, they got Kyle Kuzma, which, for all we know, he could still be a star, some sort of star.
Okay.
Montrezl Harrell, he's good, man. He is good. Let's not forget it. And then KCP, a good shooter. And then they also got a pick as well. Let's not forget about that. But I don't think they've done too bad. It's just
Bradley Beal, this is not the way to keep Bradley Beal. Like, surely not. This is not the way to keep him, right?
Oh, yeah, no, they must know that everything they're doing right now is for a rebuild. They don't have a competing team. What they have right now is a rebuilding team with Denny Adija. I'm trying to think of who their power forward is. Thomas Bryant. Like, they're a rebuilding team. They're not a
but they don't
team.
think they're a rebuilding team, though. They think they're contending. Like, look at all their role players they've brought in. You need a player to pass to these role players, you know what I mean? Who's going to pass it to KCP?
Yeah, they've got Russell Westbrook. Oh, no, he's gone.
Oh, no. Oh, wait, no, they got Spencer Dinwiddie. Oh,
they got Dinwiddie. Yeah. That wasn't too bad. But, hey, mate, if they win a chip, Dinwiddie's getting that $1, mate.
I saw that. That was...
Yes.
Oh my
God. For the people that don't know, if Dinwiddie wins a championship in his contract, he gets a bit of extra money, being $1 single.
Is it actually $1? I don't think it was that.
Wasn't it? Like... It was just an absolute joke.
Hold on. I reckon, talking about the Boston Celtics, though, I think we segue into your next thing here that you had on here. You have Dennis Schroeder, the 1 year, $5.8 million, signing with Boston. Is that a good signing, Brodie? You tell me.
That is an amazing signing for Boston. But for Dennis Schroeder, oh, no. That is not a good signing. He declined an $84 million contract at LA to sign a 1 year deal at Boston for $5.8 million. Dennis Schroeder is down bad. He is down bad.
Yeah. But is it a good signing if he starts, though?
See, this is the thing. Because I know you've made a YouTube video on this, and it's good.
Yeah.
It's is he actually gonna start? It's a tough situation because, in my opinion, I don't think Schroeder would really work that well with Tatum.
Yeah.
So if anything, Schroeder's actually going to play the minutes that Tatum's kind of on the bench, because Tatum demands the ball quite a lot, and good
he
luck
does.
trying to take the ball off him. And it's just not going to work. So honestly, he's probably going to be on the bench.
Yeah, well, I think one of the most united fan bases in the league, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of Boston Celtics fans, there are a lot of fan pages out there where, like, they kind of agree on everything. Jason Tatum's the GOAT, this and that. But then, like, I've seen a lot of arguments.
He's only 21.
Between them. Yes. I've seen a lot of arguments between them, though, about Schroeder. Half of them saying that he'll start, half of them saying he shouldn't. He shouldn't start. They should bring him off the bench.
He wouldn't fit as the starter. Like you said in your video, he's not a starter really at all as a player. But I think especially at Boston, he would not work as a starter whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, he's the opposite of what they envision they get in this offseason. They envision they get, I think, a dude like Lonzo Ball, an incredible playmaker that can playmake the ball to like Jason Tatum and teach Jason Tatum how to play a little bit more off ball, with a playmaker, which he hasn't really had before, or at least in a long time. I think that's what they envisioned. Instead, they found another shot creator like Kemba Walker.
Yeah, like I said, instead they got a player that's facilitation it's all right, it's average, but he can't shoot. You think he's a good slasher, but if you actually look at his stats from last season slashing, it was actually pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, he's a worse playmaker than what Kemba Walker is, and they wanted more playmaking in this offseason.
There you go. This signing, it's a good signing at 5.8 mil. I will give him that.
Yeah,
but it probably doesn't make that much of a sense. That much sense.
He should not start next season. I think that's the final.
So the real question is, Jordan, who's the starter?
Ooh,
Pritchard?
Peyton Pritchard, right?
Yeah.
He has to start. Or I don't know, they might have a shock play come in and start. Marcus Smart might start for all we know.
Marcus Smart.
I don't think they really have a direction. Yeah, they don't really have a direction so far on who's going to start at point guard. And they're also really keen on bringing back Isaiah Thomas, maybe. Like, we've heard about that. Maybe he proves himself,
That would be awesome to see. That would be really good to see him come back to Boston.
Yeah, that would be. Well, the last full season he had in the NBA was with the Wizards, and he started 37 out of 40 games that year. So,